In life, there are people who lose a whole night's sleep over one small criticism. But there are also people who face big crises and stay as calm as a flat lake. Where is the difference? The answer is in how we react to the outside world. I am Kaelen, and today's story is about a man named David, a talented CEO who is always controlled by his anger. This story will teach us that real strength is not about controlling others, but about controlling ourselves. Listen carefully and think, because this is not just a story to hear. It is a lesson to use in your own life. I met David on an autumn afternoon that year, in a small coffee shop downtown. The afternoon sun came through the yellow leaves, falling on the wet street after a recent rain. The air was quiet, but in David's eyes, there was a storm. David was the CEO of a fast-growing tech company. To the outside world, he was a model of success. Smart, decisive, ambitious. But there was one problem that only those close to him knew. David had a terrible temper. "Kaelen," he began, his voice a little tired. "I just fired my third assistant this year." I looked at him, said nothing, and just listened. "They don't understand me. They work slowly, making mistakes all the time. This morning, she sent an email to the wrong partner with the wrong information." I yelled at her right in the middle of the office. Everyone looked at me like I was a monster. David looked down at his coffee cup, his hands shaking slightly. "But I'm not wrong, am I? If they worked better, I wouldn't need to be angry." I slowly put my coffee cup down, looking at David with a calm gaze. "David, let me ask you a question. When you are angry, are you controlling the situation? Or is the situation controlling you?" David looked up, surprised. I'm just reacting to what they do wrong." "Exactly," I nodded. "You are reacting. That means the control is not with you, but with the actions of others. They make a mistake, you get angry. They decide your emotions. So, who's controlling the game?" David was silent, his eyes looking out the window. I continued, "There is one thing I learned over many years. The strongest person is not the one who shouts the loudest, but the one who knows when to be silent. When you let anger control you, you giving your power to others." David turned back to me, his voice quieter. "But how can I not be angry when they make mistakes?" I smiled gently. "It is not about not being angry, David. It is about choosing how to react. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, I had a friend who was a blacksmith. He worked with fire every day, something so hot it could burn everything. One day I asked him, "How do you not get burned when working with fire?" He laughed and said, "Fire only burns the fool who tries to grab it. A smart person knows how to keep a distance. Use tools and let the fire serve him. He does not let the fire control him." David listened, and I continued. "Your anger is like that fire. It has power. But if you let it burn without control, it will burn everything you have built. Your reputation, your relationships, and your health. But if you learn to watch the anger, keep a distance from it, you can use that energy effectively." David nodded slowly, but he still had doubts. "So what exactly must I do, Kaelen?" I leaned forward, my tone more serious. "First, realize that you cannot control other people's actions. But you can always control how you react. When someone makes a mistake, don't ask are they so stupid? Ask, How can I react in a way that makes the situation better? Second, create space between stimulus and the reaction. When you feel anger rising, do not say anything immediately. Take 3 deep breaths. Count from 1 to 10. Walk out of the room if you need to. Give yourself a moment to think, instead of letting your raw instincts speak. And third, I look straight into David's eyes. Ask yourself, 10 years from now, how will I remember this moment? Will yelling at an employee make you a better leader? Or will it just make you someone of your own fears and avoids? David sat silently for a long time. I saw something change in his eyes from confusion to deep thought. I never thought about it that way, he admitted. I always thought that if I died and show my anger, people would think I was weak. I shook my head. Weakness is when you let your emotions control you. Strength is when you control them. A true leader does not need to shoot or have influence. They create influence with calmness, clarity, and respect. A few months later, met David again. This time, the feeling around him was different. He was still decisive, still ambitious. But there was a deep calmness in how he spoke. "Kaelen," he smiled, "I followed your advice. It wasn't easy. There were times I still wanted to shout. But every time I remembered the story of the blacksmith. I took deep breaths. I created space. And the result? I asked. My employees started to respect me more. They are no longer afraid of me, they trust me. Productivity went up. And I no longer lose sleep every night over pointless anger." I nodded, feeling happy about his change. David's story is a reminder for all of us. Life will always bring situations that make us want to get angry. But how we react is what decides who we are. If you are facing strong emotions, anger, anxiety, disappointment, remember that you always have a choice. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust the sails. If this story has helped you in any way, please share it with others. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.